Hello and welcome to another update video about silver. Very aggressive move to the upside. I already explained it in the gold video, what's probably going on here. At least this move to the upside increases the likelihood that a lasting low has been struck. I think it's worth at this stage to still be skeptical, but a move like that exactly explains and visualizes why I am rather bullish and wrong than bearish. Okay, I'm rather positioned on the long side in the metals complex, and if I'm wrong, then I just rather position lower, because we have learned, and I've communicated that to you in previous videos many times, that when silver goes and also when gold goes and when there has been a low, then they typically go quite quickly. Okay, and I have to consider at this stage that this wave 2 is already in. Okay, again, it's still worth to be skeptical. I'm still just tracking this at the moment, but it seems to give us a potential third wave rally. Now, it's a little bit too early, but in this video we to confirm that. But in this video we want to talk about what we need to see to confirm this further. Okay, so what are the levels that we're now going to watch? We had a 5-wave move to the upside, a bit of a questionable one, okay, but the fact that this wave 2 was very shallow, if it was one, indicates potential bullishness. Now, for a reliable wave 2, a little bit like a landmark, I usually like to have a deep wave 2. But sometimes when the metals go, they go aggressively and they go with a short wave 2. You cannot predict a short wave 2, but that's why I give you relevant support, relevant bullish support that I communicated to you yesterday between $20.99 and $21.63. And we talked about if that $21 level is holding, the focus can remain on higher, but at this stage it's still worth to remain a bit skeptical, because from an analysis point of view, we cannot really confirm yet that a low is in. This will, however, get clearer as we move through the different resistance levels and as we build this structure. And once we have this 5-wave move there in yellow complete, yeah, we can look forward to the next pullback trade setup. So something like this, like a pullback, okay, just on a larger scale. Okay, so after these 5 waves up, we would look at a potential 3-wave pullback. I cannot rule out at this stage that we still might do some kind of a wave 4 here, yeah, which is still possible. But obviously with that move above the last swing high, you know, we can start to be a little bit more optimistic about a potential breakout setup, yeah, and a potential breakout that's building here. In terms of the next targets for the third wave, let's talk about that as well. What we need to see. Now, this is all about what we need to see. First of all, if this was a wave 1 and this was a wave 2, then we're typically aiming for, in the metals, well, at least I would like to see $23.78 for the third wave to believe a third wave. Better would be like the 1.618 extension level. So let's put here a relevant target range, yeah, which would be in this region roughly. Okay, we can make that more precise as we go higher, as we get more clarity about the sub-wave structures. But it could be that we already had a small 1-2 setup here in wave 3, and that is the target. Now let's talk about what is relevant resistance. So what are the relevant pivots that we need to move through? And in the current situation here, I would go with, so let's just, the 61.8 and the 78.6 fib retracements. So this is, I want to see how the silver chart now reacts to $22.54 and $23.07. Very important. Want to see how we react to that level, okay? And if the price blasts through $23.07, we should get into this target range there. Then I will watch for a wave 4 pullback and a wave 5 higher. So the relevant invalidation point for this scenario, for this 1-2 setup here, is $21.75. Below this wave 2, this scenario will be invalidated as it is here. And you can already get an earlier warning, because if the 50% retracement level of this rally breaks, then things are getting more difficult, okay? And things might rather start to break down. It's at least increasing the risk to trade on the long side then, but it's not invalidation, very important. So I would say a sustained break below $22.20 will make this third wave rally far less likely. Yeah, that's what I'm observing now. So that's what is very, very interesting. There is one more level to watch as well on the way higher. Let me see if we can add that. That would be the 1-to-1 ratio level at $23.45. I would pay attention to that level as well. I'm just going to add a red line here, but this is going to be basically, because it's the 1-to-1 ratio, 100% extension, it is another pivot, another resistance level, basically the last barrier before this target is being reached. Yeah, so still very early in a potential trend change situation, but the price reacted to the support area where it needed to. And we're now exploring actively if a lasting low has been made. It's a little bit too early to confirm it. We first need to see if the price can break above relevant resistances, form 5 waves up, 3 waves down. But as we move through these resistances and reach the third wave target, hold wave 4 support and so on, we can get more optimistic, and then eventually silver could take us to new highs, okay? But again, it's still too early, so I'm still skeptical about it. And I gave you very clearly the levels that now need to hold for this to work out. So as long as we are moving within the parameters given, everything's okay. And as we break out of these parameters, that's where risk management 101 comes into play. Yeah, and then sometimes I get the question about entry points. Well, see, when you enter and exit and how you trade this, that's entirely up to you. I mean, this here is only the analysis. I can really only give you the analysis. It's a tool that can help you to define your trading plan. It is not your trading plan though. And there are different strategies with Elliott Wave, you know. Some people like to enter in these support areas. For example, there was an entry point here in the yellow larger support area. That's usually only for people who like to take a bit of heat, but then get the best price. I mentioned to you a couple of days ago when we potentially turned around and saw 5 waves coming before even this pullback started, that of course for some people it might be useful to just go long with a stop below the last swing low. Just obviously still be aware of risk management and position sizing, but this was a potential turning point. We saw that, and therefore, you know, for some people, if it works for you and your portfolio and risk appetite, you know, that was a setup. It is still possible to chase this, of course. Then I would set a stop below the last swing low. But really, how you trade this is always up to you. Depends on your portfolio, strategy, plan, risk management, and much, much more. You know, this is just the analysis. And bear in mind, there is more to trading than just analysis. Analysis is no trading plan. I always say, basically, analysis might give you 30%. Then the other 30 or 33% and 33% come from your trading plan, your strategy, your experience, and the other 33% are just psychology, right? So you can have the best analysis in the world. If you are too afraid and scared to pull the trigger in a pullback zone, you're not gonna make it. Okay, you're not gonna enter a trade. That's it, you know. But you always need to be comfortable with your own trades. Okay, that's why. Besides, I'm not legally allowed to tell anybody anything about entering a trade or whatever. You know, essentially, that's a highly individual decision. Okay, and that's not just what we like to say. It's just what it is. Okay, you know, everybody has a different cash flow, different risk management requirements, and so on. Very, very important. Okay, but that's my update about silver. So I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. Last week, we launched our stocks and S&P 500 service. You get daily updates about the S&P 500, video updates and written updates, plus selected stocks every day that are covered. You can find the link in the video description. It's the Patreon link if you're interested. Check it out. Thank you very much, and see you in the next video. Bye-bye.